PHP is a server-side scripting language designed for web development but also used as a general-purpose programming language. Originally created by Rasmus Lerdorf in 1994, the PHP reference implementation is now produced by the PHP Group. While PHP originally stood for Personal Homepage, it now stands for the recursive backronym PHP. Hypertext Preprocessor. PHP code may be embedded into HTML code, or it can be used in combination with various web template systems and web frameworks. PHP code is usually processed by a PHP interpreter implemented as a module in the web server or as a common gateway interface executable. The web server combines the results of the interpreted and executed PHP code, which may be any type of data, including images, with the generated web page. PHP code may also be executed with a command line interface and can be used to implement standalone graphical applications. The standard PHP interpreter, powered by the Zend engine, is free software released under the PHP license. PHP has been widely ported and can be deployed on most web servers on almost every operating system and platform, free of charge. Since 2014, work has been ongoing to create a formal PHP specification. History. Early history. PHP development began in 1994 when Rasmus Lerdorf wrote several common gateway interface programs in C, which he used to maintain his personal homepage. He extended them to work with web forms and to communicate with databases, and called this implementation Personal Homepage Forms Interpreter, or PHP-FI. PHP-FI could be used to build simple, dynamic web applications, to accelerate bug reporting and improve the code. Lerdorf initially announced the release of PHP-FI as Personal Homepage Tools version 1.0 on the Usenet discussion group comp.info-systems.www.authoring.cgi on June 8, 1995. This release already had the basic functionality that PHP has as of 2013. Update. This included Perl-like variables, form handling, and the ability to embed HTML. The syntax resembled that of Perl but was simpler, more limited and less consistent. Early PHP was not intended to be a new programming language, and grew organically, with Lerdorf noting in retrospect, "I don't know how to stop it. There was never any intent to write a programming language. I have absolutely no idea how to write a programming language. I just kept adding the next logical step on the way." A development team began to form after months of work and beta testing. Officially released PHP-FI 2 in November 1997. The fact that PHP was not originally designed but instead was developed organically has led to inconsistent naming of functions and inconsistent ordering of their parameters. In some cases, the function names were chosen to match the lower-level libraries which PHP was wrapping, while in some very early versions of PHP, the length of the function names was used internally as a hash function. So names were chosen to improve the distribution of hash values. 3 Philippine Pesos and 4 Steve Sureski and Andy Gutmans rewrote the parser in 1997 and formed the base of 3 Philippine Pesos, changing the language's name to the recursive acronym PHP. Hypertext Preprocessor. Afterwards, public testing of 3 Philippine Pesos began, and the official launch came in June 1998. Sureski and Gutmans then started a new rewrite of PHP's core, producing the Zend engine in 1999. They also founded Zend Technologies in Ramat Gan, Israel. On May 22, 2000, 4 Philippine Pesos, powered by the Zend engine 1.0, was released. As of August 2008, this branch reached version 4.4.9. 4 Philippine Pesos is no longer under development, nor will any security updates be released. 5 Philippine pesos. On July 13, 2004, 5 Philippine pesos was released, powered by the new Zend Engine 2. 5 Philippine pesos included new features such as improved support for object-oriented programming, the PHP Data Objects extension, and numerous performance enhancements. In 2008, 5 Philippine pesos became the only stable version under development. Late static binding had been missing from PHP and was added in version 5.3. Many high-profile open-source projects ceased to support 4 Philippine pesos in new code as of February 5, 2008, because of the GeoPHP 5 initiative, provided by a consortium of PHP developers promoting the transition from 4 Philippine pesos to 5 Philippine pesos. Over time, PHP interpreters became available on most existing 32-bit and 64-bit operating systems, either by building them from the PHP source code, or by using pre-built binaries. For the PHP versions 5.3 and 5.4, the only available Microsoft Windows binary distributions were 32-bit x86 builds, requiring Windows 32-bit compatibility mode while using Internet Information Services on a 64-bit Windows platform. PHP version 5.5 made the 64-bit x86-64 builds available for Microsoft Windows. 6 Philippine pesos and Unicode. PHP received mixed reviews due to lacking native Unicode support at the core language level. In 2005, a project headed by Andrzej Zamiewski was initiated to bring native Unicode support throughout PHP, by embedding the international components for Unicode library, and representing text strings as UTF-16 internally. Since this would cause major changes both to the internals of the language and to user code, it was planned to release this as version 6.0 of the language, along with other major features then in development. However, a shortage of developers who understood the necessary changes, and performance problems arising from conversion to and from UTF-16, which is rarely used in a web context, led to delays in the project. As a result, a 5 Philippine pesos and 30 centavos release was created in 2009, with many non-Unicode features backported from 6 Philippine pesos, notably namespaces. In March 2010, the project in its current form was officially abandoned, and a 5 Philippine pesos and 40 centavos release was prepared containing most remaining non-Unicode features from 6 Philippine pesos, such as traits enclosure rebinding. Initial hopes were that a new plan would be formed for Unicode integration, but as of 2014 none has been adopted. 7 Philippine pesos. During 2014 and 2015, a new major PHP version was developed, which was numbered 7 Philippine pesos. The numbering of this version involved some debate. While the 6 Philippine pesos Unicode experiment had never been released, several articles and book titles referenced the 6 Philippine pesos name, which might have caused confusion if a new release were to reuse the name. After a vote, the name 7 Philippine pesos was chosen. The foundation of 7 Philippine pesos is a PHP branch that was originally dubbed PHP Next Generation. It was authored by Dmitry Stogov, Shinchan Hui and Nikita Popov. It aimed at optimizing PHP performance by refactoring the Zend engine while retaining near complete language compatibility. As of the 14th of July 2014, update, WordPress-based benchmarks, which served as the main benchmark suite for the PHP-NG project, showed an almost 100% increase in performance. Changes from PHP-NG are also expected to make it easier to improve performance in the future, as more compact data structures and other changes are seen as better suited for a successful migration to a just-in-time compiler. Because of the significant changes, the reworked Zend engine is called Zend Engine 3, succeeding Zend Engine 2 used in 5 Philippine pesos. Because of major internal changes in PHP-NG, it must receive a new major version number of PHP, rather than a minor 5 Philippine pesos release. According to PHP's release process, major versions of PHP are allowed to break backward compatibility of code, and therefore 7 Philippine pesos presented an opportunity for other improvements beyond PHP-NG that require backward compatibility breaks. In particular, it involved the following changes. Many fatal or recoverable level legacy PHP error mechanisms were replaced with modern object-oriented exceptions. The syntax for variable dereferencing was reworked to be internally more consistent and complete, allowing the use of the operators to and extensions were removed from the PHP core, most notably the legacy MySQL extension. The behavior of the list was removed. An oversight allowing a switch statement to have multiple default clauses was fixed. Support for hexadecimal number support in some implicit conversions from strings to number types was removed. The left shift and right shift operators were changed to behave more consistently across platforms. Conversions between integers and floating point numbers were tightened and implemented more consistently across platforms. 7 Philippine pesos also included new language features. Most notably, it introduces return type declarations for functions, which complement the existing parameter type declarations, and support for the scalar types in parameter and return type declarations. Release history. Beginning on June 28, 2011, the PHP Group implemented a timeline for the release of new versions of PHP. Under this system, at least one release should occur every month. Once per year, a minor release should occur which may include new features. Every minor release should at least be supported for 2 years with security and bug fixes, followed by at least 1 year of only security fixes, for a total of a 3-year release process for every minor release. No new features, unless small and self-contained, are to be introduced into a minor release during the 3-year release process. Mascot. The mascot of the PHP project is the elephant, a blue elephant with the PHP logo on its side, designed by Vincent Pontier in 1998. The elephant is sometimes differently colored when in plush toy form. The elephant PHP mascot. A plush toy elephant